Thank you for coming.
Order, order. I call Flick Drummond to move the motion.
Thank you very much, Sir Christopher. And can I say what a pleasure it is to serve under your chairmanship again? The Prime Minister described a good education as the closest thing we have to a silver bullet. And he is right. Education unlocks the door of opportunity, raises aspiration and sets children up for future success. The Conservatives have delivered on education. After successive Conservative governments, we have more schools that are rated good or outstanding. We have improved our standing in the international league tables, and in particular, progress made on phonics has been monumental. However, as the legacy of the pandemic continues to blight our children's lives, the education system is grappling with huge challenges. Challenges that could leave untold damage on the future of our children, our society and our economy if left unresolved. Absence rates are at crisis point, suspensions are at record levels, and some children are falling off the school roll altogether. The government has shown leadership in tackling many of these challenges. Last year, we outlined an ambitious vision in the SEND and Alternative Provision Improvement Plan. We are piloting attendance mentors and rolling out attendance hubs. And we're increasing the number of mental health support teams working across schools and colleges. But what is of huge concern to me and many colleagues across this House, and what this debate seeks to address today, is that no one, neither government, nor local authorities, nor schools, can honestly answer the question, how many children are missing from school? Now, a good education is pivotal to a child's future success, yet we do not know how many children are not in school, where they are, and what quality of education they are receiving, if any. We do not even know if they are safe. This is just not acceptable. From the limited data that is available, we know that children who are moved out of school are disproportionately likely to be from a low-income household, need SEN support, and have a history of school absence and school exclusions. These are children and families who desperately need our support, but we are unable to offer it because we simply do not know who they are or where they are. While we do not have the data to fully understand where these children are and how many there are, it is thought that many not in a school role or not on a school role are in home education. In England, parents rightfully have the choice over where to educate their child, to choose which school to send them to, or even to choose not to send their child to a school, but to home educate them instead. The fundamental right to home educate is enshrined in law and always should be, with many home educating parents providing a high-quality home education for their child. However, due to a lack of oversight, we have no way of knowing whether this is the case for every child in home education. 9 in 10 local authorities believe they have not been able to identify every child in home education. With vulnerable children disproportionately likely not to be in school, it raises serious questions about whether every child in home education is there because it is in their best interest. Research by the Centre for Social Justice has uncovered a growing number of parents opting for home education because they feel they have no other option due to their child's needs not being met in school. This could be the result of unmet SEND needs, a lack of support for mental health, or bullying. Of particular concern is the number of parents who have felt coerced into home education through the scourge that is off-rolling. These parents can be left deliberately uninformed about the consequences of moving off-roll and ill-prepared to deliver a suitable home education. This cannot be allowed to continue. As Conservatives, we must make sure all parents can freely and informedly choose how to best educate their child, and that every child thrives in their education, whether in school or in home. A register of children not in school is the first step to achieving this. Now, educating children at home is no small task for anyone, and I would like to thank the many parents who are doing an admirable job providing their children with a high-quality home education. And I want to reassure those parents that a register would not seek to disrupt your right to home educate or add extra burden. Quite the contrary, as it would allow us to offer assistance and resources to you who are home educating at great personal cost, time and effort, should you want such support. But not every child is your child. Not every child is in home education because it's in their best interest. Not every parent feels equipped to provide the quality of education they feel their child needs. Not every child is safe at home. For a parent who felt coerced into removing their child into home education against their better wishes, the prospect of home educating their child without any support or advice can feel overwhelming. A number of organisations, including Ofsted, the Children's Commissioner and the Centre for Social Justice, have uncovered worrying reports of home-educated pupils being left without access to an appropriate quality of education, and parents being left to struggling to cope with the demands of home education. A register would allow us to find and support those families who have been left on the fringes of the education system. Most importantly, it would help us uncover those children whose safety is at risk. In 2020, the Child Safeguarding Practice Review Panel uncovered 15 incidences of harm involving children reported to be in home education. These children included severe harm such as serious neglect, emotional abuse, and intrafamilial harm. In 3 of these cases, the children had died. The panel concluded that these children were often invisible, they were not in school, and they did not receive home visits. Such safeguarding concerns have been echoed by local authorities who have spoken about a range of concerns, including county lines involvement, gangs, and exploitation, as well as child employment. We cannot continue as we are, unable to guarantee the safety, welfare, and basic educational progress of every child. Across Europe, oversight of educational progress is commonplace. England is an international outlier in this respect, and this change is well overdue. The limited data available suggests that home education is on the rise. As the number of home educating children increase, so should our drive to ensure that parents are able to exercise their right to choose how to best educate their child, that every child is supported to achieve the best educational outcomes possible, and that all children are protected equally, whether at home or at school. This is not to infringe upon a parent's right to home education or to add any extra burden to those who are doing it well. A register of children not in school wouldn't change much for those families that are already doing an excellent job, but it would make a big difference for the small number of children on the fringes of our education system and who may be at risk of harm. It is time to bring those children who are out of sight and out of mind back into view. This is not just an educational issue, but an issue of social justice and national economic importance too. Education is a major route out of poverty, opening doors to greater employment and lifelong learning. If children do not receive a suitable education that allows them to develop the skills to gain meaningful employment, it will cast a long shadow over their lives and over the economic well-being of the whole country. Education is key to the country's continued prosperity and must remain the focus of any government. Therefore, I hope all colleagues will back my private member's bill to introduce a children not in school register due for a second reading on the 15th of March. I'm grateful that education ministers have repeatedly voiced their support for a children not in school register. It is time to turn those words into action, and I would call upon the Minister to confirm if the government will fully back my bill that allows us to legislate for a children not in school register without any further delays. By implementing this register, which is so important for ensuring the welfare and education of every single child, we will continue to build on the success of driving up standards and unlock that all-important door of opportunity and aspiration for all children.
Yeah. Well done.